everyone! So my name is Lily and I'm the book blogger behind Utopia's State of Mind, and first off, I just want to wish everyone a happy new year. I hope 2021 so far is treating you well, and if it hasn't, then I hope that it picks up for you soon. I am hopeful for 2021 considering how 2020 was. I haven't made my bookish resolutions yet for 2021 yet, so if you have any suggestions or if you know your bookish resolutions, please let me know below. I'm going to be doing a video / a blog post about it. I just haven't fully wrapped my mind around the fact that it is already 2021 and that I need to think about it. I already have some ideas about putting less pressure on myself to read and maybe just kind of overall balancing all of that work a little bit better for the rest of 2021. I just haven't concretely kind of written down in my bullet journal what will my resolutions be. So I would love some suggestions because I definitely need to set some kind of affirmation type resolutions. I'm going to be continuing the tradition of doing a firm and a squishy TBR. So I'm going to first talk about my firm TBR. I've picked out a few books that have already released that I want to get to because in 2021 I have a lot of books that I really didn't read in 2020 that I feel really badly about, so I'd like to read in 2021. And the first has to be Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World. The literary agent was so kind to send this to me ages and ages ago. So I have a whole stack of books, and not a big stack, okay, just a few books, but that people or publishers have sent to me that I haven't gotten to, and I feel really badly because it's been years that I haven't gotten to it. So I think every month until the stack is done, I'm going to try to read one of those books. So January, this is one of them. If you saw my wrap-ups last month, you will see that I loved The Mighty Heart of Sunny St. James, and it's by the same author, Ashley Herring Blake. I've loved all of Ashley Herring Blake's books that I've read, so I'm super excited for this one. And I know I have the physical copy, but I think what I want to do is try to read it while also listening to it, because for middle grade books I also love the opportunity to listen to the narration. It just kind of transports me, and I love reading the emotions of it, and it feels really, really fun. So being able to kind of listen to it while I'm doing work or while I'm, walking around, and then also being able to like cozy up and snuggle and read it before bed is the perfect kind of balance for me. The next book I want to read is When We Were Magic by Sarah Gailey. I have read a lot of Sarah Gailey books. I've loved Magic for Liars, which is an adult novel about two sisters and like a magical school. I've read the River of Tea series, which is about a hippo wrangling. I don't really know how to describe it because it's truly one of a kind, but I've loved all of their books and I'm so excited for this YA debut. All I know is that it's queer witches. That's all I really needed to know to pre-order it. And the next book that I want to read, I actually just snagged it in a Libro FM sale. It's Record of a Spaceborne Few. I've loved this series, and the first one, I think it's The Long Way to a Small, Dark, Angry Planet. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. I literally get this title wrong every single time, but I know the second title, which is A Closed and Common Orbit. So it's that series, and I think it's the Wayfarers series. I think that's the series title, and I've loved watching that crew dynamic unfold and reading about all of these different non-humanoid aliens and all these different space adventures, and the found family theme has been something that has really hooked me as I've kept reading those books. I'm really excited to finally finish that book because I got an e-arc of the next book in the series, Electronic Advanced Read Copy. I will leave the title of the next series somewhere in the video just because I don't remember it. I think it's something with galaxy and ground. But I didn't want to read the synopsis because I haven't read the third one. So I'm going to try to catch up so that in February I can read the next one. And then the next book that has already published that I want to read is The Luminous Dead. I've seen this appear so many times on Book With No Name's Instagram. I will leave the link below. And I just trust their feed and their recommendations so much that I have an e-arc of this book, and I got it before the book released. I never got to it, and I feel really, really badly about that. But this is my kind of time to redeem myself, and I'm going to read it in January. Or I'm going to try to read it in January. Nope. I mean, no, I want to say no promises, but I'm going to try, essentially. And then I have 3 different books that I have to read for blog tours in January, which I'm also including on my firm TBR because I've committed to being on the blog tour, and some of the blog tours are in February, so I just need to read them beforehand so I can write my review. The first is What Big Teeth, and I gotta say the cover is definitely what hooked me first. It gave me a Wilder Girls vibe, and I've been searching for books like Rory Power's Wilder Girls and Burn Our Bodies Down, and so I'm really excited for this one. And it's also kind of a horror-esque story, and I was reading some of the synopsis. It says for fans of Miss Peregrine's House for Peculiar Children, which I have not read, so I wouldn't say necessarily I'm a fan because I haven't read it, but I definitely love that kind of idea for the book. And I can only think of The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I think also kind of gives more adult idea of the Miss Peregrine's House for Peculiar Children. Or I think it's Home. I think Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. So I'm excited for that one. I'm so excited for This Golden Flame. First off, it has an ace/aromantic main character. I think, just based on what I've heard about the book and like tags on Goodreads essentially. I've been trying to read more and more queer books every month. I know that last year I talked a lot about wanting to read 33% every month, and so I'm trying to also vary the amount of queer representation I read. I think that it's more likely that I pick up sapphic books or gay books with gay main characters, and so I'm trying to really, in 2021, diversify the types of queer identities I'm also reading as well, so really making that conscious decision. And so This Golden Flame also is a queer main character with a fantasy setting, and there's also automatons, and I think I saw something about like scorpion kings, so I'm really, really excited for that one. And the last book on my firm TBR is Everything That Burns. So this is the sequel to Enchante. The Enchante duology recently got new titles. So Enchante is now All That Glitters, and the sequel to Enchante, which I don't remember what the original proposed like title of the sequel was, but now it's Everything That Burns. And I'm super excited for this one because really been loving reading these books set in Paris. I took French when I was growing up like in school, and so I've always been really fascinated with France, and Paris is kind of, you know, what a lot of people think of when they think of France. And having gone to Paris within the last couple of years for the first time, I am just so excited to kind of revisit it in a magical sense, just because it's found such a fond part in my heart. And obviously, like, the Paris I visited is definitely different than the Paris that will be in Everything That Burns, because it's more of a historical fiction fantasy, and it's also set with revolution and all of that upheaval. So it's definitely a different setting than what I got to see when I was in Paris, but I still am really excited for it because of that. So part of me trying to read less is also setting less idealistic or less ambitious TBRs. So in the past, I've kind of always had at least 10 titles and often more. This month, I really wanted to keep it to 10 titles and that like cap it basically at that point. So I only have 3 on my Squishy TBR, and the first one is A Pho Love Story. This has Vietnamese American representation. In 2020, I decided to try even more to highlight and celebrate Asian voices in YA literature, but also in literature as a whole. And I'm really proud of how many other books I was able to read. So I'm excited for this Vietnamese American own voices representation, but I'm also excited because it has like competing restaurants, and that was one of my favorite aspects from Tweet Cute. And I'm so excited to see this in this kind of setting with diverse characters, and also it looks really, really precious. And also, if you see the cover, it's just so charming and just so whimsical. Like, I think I really love the lavender, and I love the the way that the cover art also includes their various foods as well. The next book I want to read is Love is for Losers, and all I really know about this one is that it's a book that questions sexuality, and also there's a thrift store romance. So I'm really excited to read that one. So the final book on my January Squishy TBR is Prepped. And not only does this have survivalist YA, which is just something that I really love reading in YA, but also something that I don't read as much in YA. But I would like to continue that because those books are really interesting to me to see how humanity and like how people adapt to different situations, and specifically prepping for kind of like the end of the world. And so Prepped kind of has that vibe. I'm also excited because it has Korean American representation, which I don't think I have ever read an Asian voice with a survivalist YA, like the pair combined. So I'm really excited to see how those mix. And I also think in general, I don't even think I have that many like diverse survivalist YA recommendations. So obviously if you have any recommendations for the kind of vibes I'm talking about in this TBR, please leave them down below. And that concludes my January TBR. As I said, I'm trying to keep it a lot more manageable recently, and as I said, a cap at 10 books per month, including my firm and squishies. So I will leave all the links to the books down below, and of course all of my social media links. So I hope you all have a really great day, and I'm interested to know if you are setting a reading goal or like a numerical reading challenge goal for yourself for 2021. And if you are, also please let me know because I'm really interested. I haven't decided if I'm going to yet. I have always done so in the past, and last year my goal was 200 books, but I just don't know if I want to like put any number on it at all this year. I've been thinking about doing a lot of different changes to how I approach Goodreads and how I approach reading in 2021, and so that kind of just might be something I do. I just haven't decided yet, as I said. So I really would be interested to know, as I said, kind of what your bookish resolutions are, and if you're setting a reading challenge for yourself, and why not, and what it is. So have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!